And with the start of a new month, are you looking to start a new lease on life? Well, Legacy Village Recovery Centers and Sober Living can help you get there. With a private recovery facility and resources at every turn, here to explain how they can get you back on your feet and live a life that you're truly proud of. We've got Dennis Farmer joining us now. He's the CEO of Legacy Village Recovery Centers and Sober Living joining us now. Dennis, always great to see you.
Thanks for having me back. I appreciate it.
Of course. Well, it's just never not a good time to talk about improving oneself, isn't that right?
This is true, and people struggle with this. There's no season to it, no rhyme or reason. It's something that happens 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
Yes.
Those who struggle combat this problem all the time.
So tell us about Legacy Village. I've had the honor of being there. It's a wonderful facility, and it really does offer folks privacy and the space to heal.
It does. You know, we're a fully licensed and accredited facility. We have some of the highest licensing and accreditations that you can get. We put a premium on the quality of care that we provide, but it's also done in a family home-like environment. We treat every client individually. We go through and get to know that client. What's going on with them? What are the specific needs that they've got? And we try and address that in a plan for them to go through their recovery process and their treatment.
Yes, and you are based in Bakersfield.
We are.
Which we think is perhaps ideal for some folks who just kind of want to get away from town and away from all the pressures at home.
It is. You know, sometimes people, it's hard enough to make the phone call. It's hard enough to step out and get the help that you need. You don't want the distractions sometimes of perhaps running into somebody when you're not quite ready yet to see them. So you can retreat a little bit, focus on yourself, and really kind of shut out some of the outside factors and deal with what you need to deal with while you're in our facility.
Why do you think so many people are suffering?
You know, there's a lot of things, and there's no one cookie cutter answer to it. A lot of people have this misconception or a stigma that it's the homeless population, that it's the indigent population, that it's poor people. It's not just that, it's everybody. Some of the most intelligent, ambitious people that you know will struggle with this issue. You know, we've talked before about when your mind just doesn't shut off. Those of us who may be very ambitious in business or other things, that's our one retreat. And when it goes too far or when we've lost control over it, it becomes a problem.
Yes.
And so this is something that people struggle with across the board.
And people turn to alcohol or drugs perhaps to calm their mind,
Exactly.
to slow down because they are so go, go, go.
Exactly.
And you mentioned business people. So what is your message to employers out there, HR departments? I know you're ready and willing to help them kind of understand these issues.
Sure. One of the services Legacy Village offers, and we offer it for free to employers and agencies and corporations throughout the Central Valley, is to provide training to your HR departments, to your employee assistance programs, or even to supervisory and managerial staff on how to identify somebody who might have a problem, how to address that problem correctly in an appropriate way. Because let's face it, as employers, it's not only difficult to find good help, it's expensive. It's expensive to recruit people, to retain them, to train them. So if you've got a dynamite employee who's struggling and you've noticed performance issues and everything else, why not get them help?
Yes.
Why not, even if they don't have insurance, sometimes it's cheaper for the employer to get them help than it would be just to start all over again. Lord knows I probably could have saved years of my own struggle had I had the right supervisor or boss throughout my career in the early days. Just come up to me and say, hey, are you doing all right? What's going on? I'm seeing signs of this. Can we help?
And I know you've been very brave in sharing your personal struggles with alcoholism. So what is your message to folks out there? What are some signs that perhaps you can't even see, but your employer could perhaps see?
Sure. Well, a lot of us have the I can handle it attitude. And so, you know, in those cases, with those of us who struggle may be the last ones to see it. You're going to see diminished work capacity. You're going to see frequent call-in sick days. You're going to see, if it's a family member, you're going to see when you gather together, maybe they're drinking more than everybody else is, or they're starting to hide some of those things. There are physical signs from weight loss or weight gain that you can see. Withdrawing, not wanting to participate in activities, or not wanting to do so unless alcohol is involved. Those are all things that contribute to it. You know, one of the things I always encourage people to do, we have self-assessments on our website. If you go to that, there's a self-assessment for the individual and one for a family member. take those assessments if you think you can handle it.
Yeah.
And if any of those questions make you raise an eyebrow or give you pause for concern, maybe you should call and at least ask some questions.
Oh, I like that. So don't forget, folks, Legacy Village offers free training for employers and HR and agencies. That's a wonderful service you have. And for everybody else, what's your message? To pick up that phone today,
Exactly.
Start of May. It's a good time.
It is.
And make that call, because like you said, I know it's scary.
It is. You know, it's a detriment to your family, to your health. Overall, it's a detriment to our communities. The sooner you get help, the sooner you can start putting your life back together again. And I, along with just millions of other people across this country, can tell you how amazing life can be in recovery.
Yeah.
And it is. It's worth every investment you make, both in time and money, to get yourself back on track.
Like you said, the money that you spend perhaps getting clean is nothing compared to the money you'll spend on drugs,
That's right.
alcohol, and perhaps with the law.
Legal issues and everything else, yeah. It's an investment in yourself, and it's one that's well worth it.
It's awesome. Okay, so you're standing by answering the phones 24/7.
Yes.
They're at Legacy Village,
We are.
located in Bakersfield, and we're so happy you made the drive up today to remind everybody in the Central Valley that there is hope out there and
is.
great resources.
Yes, thank you.
Thanks, Dennis, so much for coming on.
Appreciate it, thank you.
Thank you. See you soon.